guys, it's Ashley and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. So today I thought I would bring you guys a little TBR that I have for the year of 2020. So these are going to be the top 20 books that I want to read in this year of 2020. Now these are all going to be like backlisted books. This isn't going to be anything that I'm anticipating for the year of 2020, books that are coming out. These are books that I already own, that I've just been sitting on, that I need to read, that I want to read. They're at the top of my list, and I have to get them read. I want these 20 to be a part of my goal of 50 for the year of 2020. These are the books that are at the top. I have to read them. I want to read them. They've been sitting long enough that I just feel like I have to get to them. I really want to get to them. I really want to read these. So I wanted to show you guys the top 20 books that I plan on reading for the year of 2020. So let's go ahead and get started. Now this isn't in any particular order or anything. I basically just was looking at my bookshelf and wrote down the top 20 books that I want to read. So we're just going to go through it and see where we get to. So the first one is going to be Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So this is book 7 in the Harry Potter series. I'm actually currently listening to the audiobook of this one, and I'm about halfway through it so far. I'm loving it, and I think I'm almost to the end of movie 1 of the series of part 1 of the Deathly Hallows movie. But I'm really enjoying this. Now, like you guys did see in my favorite books of 2019, that I absolutely love The Order of the Phoenix, but this one is not bad. I have to say, this one is very good. I haven't finished it yet, so I don't know how it's going to conclude, but I'm excited to see. I mean, I do know how it's going to conclude. Duh, everybody knows how it's going to conclude. But, like, actually reading it and then seeing it in a movie, they can be different. So I can't wait to see how the book actually ends compared to what happens in the movie. But I'm excited about this one. This book is heavy. Why is this book so heavy? It is heavy. Alright, the next book on my list, I'm actually reading this one currently, physically reading this one, and I love it. I am obsessed. I'm almost done with it. The past 2 nights have been really hard for me to put it down. I stayed up way later than I probably should have reading it, but I love it. It's amazing, and I cannot wait to finish it. And that is Serpent and Dove, and this is by Shelby Mahurin, I think is how you say her name. This book is amazing. This is about a witch and a witch hunter who basically get married, and yeah, and it's so good. Every time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read one more chapter and then put it down, then something big happens and I'm like, okay, I gotta keep reading it. It is so good. It is so amazing. I highly recommend this one. I know this one, I believe this one came out last year in 2019, and I picked it up, and I could not wait to read it. Like, from the beginning, from when I heard the synopsis of it, I was like, oh, this sounds intriguing. But, like, actually reading it now, it's so good. I highly recommend this one. Again, I'm not done with it yet, but I should be done, like, in the next, like, day or two. And I love it. It's so good so far. It's so good. And I believe book 2 of this one comes out this year in September or November. I can't remember which one that I saw, but I think book 2 is called Blood and Honey, so I will definitely be picking that one up. I'm realizing as I'm going through this stack that I have of these books that I feel like there's a reason why I haven't read these books, and it's probably because they're all pretty thick books. The next one on my list is going to be Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. So this is book 1 in the Dark Artifices series. All within the Shadowhunter world. I have read the Infernal Devices. I have read all the Mortal Instruments. I have yet to read the Dark Artifices, so I need to get to them, and this book is massive. And this is the paperback version. I didn't pick up the hardback of it because it was so massive, and I saw the paperback and I was like, it doesn't look as intimidating, but still intimidating. So I think that's part of the reason why I haven't picked this book up yet. But I love the Shadowhunter world, so I'm sure I will love this one just like I loved all the other ones. I just need to go ahead and pick it up and read it and fall in love with the world again. So yes. Alright, this next one I meant to read last year in 2019. There was a read-along going for the series, and I just didn't end up getting to it. But now I own the entire trilogy, and yeah, I need to start the actual series. So that is going to be Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I've heard amazing things about this one. I don't really know much about it. I know it's about a girl who her hair is blue and it comes out of her head blue, like it's her natural hair color. And I don't know much more about it, but I've heard it's really good. I heard Laini Taylor's writing is really good, and everybody loves this trilogy, so I need to go ahead and read it since I own the entire trilogy now. So yeah, I should get to it. And I really like these covers, and I love their spines. I love how they look on my bookshelf. So, yeah, gotta get to this one pretty soon, hopefully. Alright, this next book I actually started reading back in 2018, and I put it down, and I don't know why I put it down, because I was really enjoying it. I got really into the story, and then when I put it down, I just have not picked it back up, and I'm mad about it, because I want to read it, and it's in a series, or it's in a trilogy, and the last book in the trilogy just came out, and I'm just behind, as usual. But, anyways, that is going to be Renegades by Marissa Meyer. So this is like a superhero and villains kind of book. I don't know. I was really enjoying what I read of it so far. I'm like 80 pages into this book. Again, this is also a chunker. I think this is over 500 pages. But this is also a trilogy, and the second and third book have been released. The third book, Supernova, was just released a couple of months ago. So I'm slacking again on a series. Surpriser, shocker, I don't know. But I really want to read this one. Again, like I said, I really enjoyed what I already had read of it, so I just need to go ahead and finish it so I can move on to book 2. So, yes, I have this. A lot of these are the beginning of series. I probably should have made this like the series I need to start in 2020. Alright, but the next book is going to be The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So again, this is a full trilogy. The last book in the series just came out a couple of months ago, and I have not read the first book in the trilogy because I'm just slacking. I bought this book either last year or the end of 2018. I don't even remember when I bought it, but I have it. It's just been sitting on my bookshelf. This is another Fae story. I've heard amazing things about it. People love it. People love the series. So I need to go ahead and read this one. I feel like I'm just like bashing myself because I haven't read all these books. That's what this video is about. This next one, again, shocker, is the beginning of another trilogy that I have yet to start. And I've heard amazing things about, people rave about this series on BookTube. And that is going to be Illuminae, and this is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So this is a sci-fi story, and it's mixed media. I've heard that a lot of people say you should read the audiobook of this one, so I do have the audiobook, and I do have the physical book, so I can read along with it. I just have not started it, and I'm just chilling. And because it's mixed media, I feel like it should be easy to get through. I haven't gotten to it yet, so it is on my list for 2020 of books that I need to read. I have to read this one. I really am intrigued by this one. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but the sci-fi I do read is pretty good, and I've heard amazing things about this one, so I feel like I will enjoy it, so I need to read it. Alright, this next one, I don't believe this one is a series. I think this is a standalone, and it is a YA book, and it is contemporary. Is this my first contemporary on the list? I think it is. This is my first contemporary on the list. But it is American Royals, and this is by Catherine McGee. So this is a story about back in the Revolution, if George Washington had become the king of America instead of the president, and his lineage, and, you know, having a royal family in America. So that's what this one is about. I don't know exactly anything else about it. That's just the premise that I've heard, and it sounded intriguing. So I picked this one up, and now I really want to read it. So I like it. She kind of looks like she could be like a modern day Jackie O kind of, in a sense, on here. I don't know. But I've heard this is really good, so I hope to pick this one up pretty soon, too. Maybe this one would be like a good read around 4th of July or something, just because of the theme of it. I don't know. Maybe. That's a thought. That's a thought. I'll try and remember that. Alright, this next one is a recent pickup for me, and I've just been really excited about it, and so I figured it needs to be on my top 20 books that I want to read for the year, and that is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is another one that involves, like, villains and superheroes, but I think it follows the villains instead of the superheroes in this one, basically. I don't know. I don't really know much about it. Somebody said villains and superheroes. It caught my attention, so I picked it up, and so now I really want to read it. So it is on my list of my top 20 that I need to read for 2020. How many times am I going to say 20 or 2020 in this video? I should probably count. I don't want to count. I don't care. This next one is also book 1 in a series. Shocker! This one is actually another contemporary that I'm very excited about, and that is going to be Confessions of a Shopaholic. This is by Sophie Kinsella. I love Sophie Kinsella. I love her books. Ever since I've discovered her, I love reading her books. I love listening to the audiobooks. They crack me up. They're hilarious. But this is Confessions of a Shopaholic. This is the beginning of a series. I bought the first 5 books in the series in my Half Price Books clearance sale video in that haul, and I have the first 5, so I feel like I just need to go ahead and get started. And her books are pretty easy, quick reads, so I feel like I can get through them pretty fast, pretty quickly. And yeah, I don't know, I just love Sophie Kinsella. She's like, I read a lot of Sarah Dessen as a teenager and like a young adult, and I feel like Sophie Kinsella has kind of like taken over Sarah Dessen books for me, so I just love her. I love her. Okay, so this next book, I'm very, very, very ashamed that I still have not read this book. And I've mentioned it in multiple videos. I've had it on multiple TBRs. I've talked about it numerous times. This book was actually featured in my very, very first BookTube video ever, which was a book haul back in 2015. Yes, I've been on here 5 years. And still have not read this book, and I am quite ashamed. But that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is book 1 in the Grisha trilogy, and I have not read it. I truly, and I've said this multiple times, I bought this book, I bought the entire trilogy off a book outlet because I liked their covers. These were truly cover buys. Had no idea what they were about. To be honest, I still don't really know exactly what they're about, but I know people love this trilogy. I know they love the Six of Crows duology, and then King of Scars came out, and then I think there's like some short stories that's also a part of the world, and there's just so many things, and I'm just chilling with these books on my bookshelf and not reading them. So I have to read this book this year. I have to. And if I don't read it this year, I might as well just get rid of it, because they've just been sitting there for years. So it is on my list for 2020, and if I don't read it, it's gotta go. But I want to know what everybody loves about this series, so I really need to get to it, and I really need to read it. So I'm gonna read it. I'm making myself read it this year. Okay, finally, I'm getting to some books in series that I have started and love this series, and that's why I'm continuing on with them. But this next one is going to be Two Dark Reigns by Kendar Blake. This is book 3 in the Three Dark Crowns series. You guys know I love this series. I raved about One Dark Throne and Three Dark Crowns in multiple videos, and I am obsessed with the series. It is so good. It's a great YA fantasy series. It's about 3 triplets who are fighting it out to be the queen, and they're literally trying to kill each other, and I just love the series. It is so good. I highly recommend. But this is book 3, and I also own book 4, so I hope to read both of these in the year 2020 and get through the series, and I'm so excited. I just need to know what happens in the end. I just have to know. So, got this. Alright, this next one is also a continuation in a series that I have started. Very proud of myself. But this is going to be book 2, and that is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is book 2 in A Court of Thorns and Roses series. Again, I think it has a title or like a name for the series, but I don't know exactly what it is. But anyways, this is book 2. It is a honker. It is chunky. It is thick. It is a big book. But I enjoyed book 1 so much that I cannot wait to get to book 2 and find out what happens, because there's a love triangle that I think happens, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I've just heard rumors, because I don't know exactly what happens, but I don't know how I feel about where this love story is going. But I guess I have to read it and see how it unveils. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Feyre. Alright, this next book is going to be a YA fantasy standalone. I have loved the first book. Not in the series. It's not a series. But I love the first book by this author. This is her second book that she has come out with, and I just cannot wait to read it. That is Winterwood by Shea Earnshaw. Sorry. And this is my Owl Crate edition. It's the most beautiful book ever. It is so pretty, and I cannot wait to read it. I'm just so excited. It has witches, dark woods, Shea Earnshaw. It sounds up my alley. I'm excited. I cannot wait to read it. And it's so beautiful. I just can't get over this book. Alright, this next one is going to be another contemporary, and everybody raved about this book in 2019, and I bought it, but I didn't end up reading it, so I feel like I should read it pretty soon. And that is Red, White, and Royal Blue, and this is by Casey McQuiston. This is her debut novel. So this is about the son of the United States president and the Prince of England, and they have this like hate to love kind of relationship. They hate each other, then they become friends, and then they fall in love. But yeah, I've heard amazing things about it. People raved about this book last year in 2019. They absolutely loved it. They said it was so cute and so sweet. I think some people said it even made them cry. I don't really cry in books, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. But I really want to read this one. I've been loving adult contemporaries lately, so hopefully I get to this one pretty soon. Alright, this next one is by an author I've already mentioned in this video, and this is also the beginning of a series, actually a duology, that I have not started, of course, because me. But that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and I have the hardcover. I picked this up from Book Outlet last year in a Book Outlet haul, and I've heard so many great things about this. Laszlo Strange and the city of Weep, I believe, is a city that like just disappeared, I think is what it is, and he has a chance to go there. Again, I'm bad at synopses, but that's what I've heard of it. I've heard amazing things about it. I've heard amazing things about Laini Taylor's writing. Again, I do have Daughter of Smoke and Bone on my list as well. And then hopefully I will get to this one too. So a lot of Laini Taylor reading for the year 2020. Hopefully. Oh, okay, this next one I'm a little ashamed of. I feel like a fake Batman fan because I have not read this one, but I've owned it for a while and I haven't picked it up, and people are going to hate me because I have Batman tattooed on my arm. I have Batman on my arm, and I have not read this one, and I'm so ashamed. But it is Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. This is a graphic novel by Frank Miller. It's probably the most popular Batman graphic novel there is out there, aside from The Killing Joke, but I'm sure this one is way better and past The Killing Joke, and I just have not read it. I've owned it for forever. I actually think my brother has the Dark Knight from this tattooed on his arm too. We are both huge Batman fans, and I'm very ashamed that I have not read this yet, and I've owned it for a while too, so it's just been sitting on my shelf. I've been reading other Batman stuff. It's not like I'm not reading Batman, I just haven't read this one specifically, so it is happening in the year 2020. I have to read it. I want to read it, and maybe I'll get some inspo to grow on my tattoo because I want to add to it. So yeah, I'm a terrible Batman fan. Don't hate me. Don't judge me out there, people. I know. You don't realize how many books 20 books is until they're like piled up next to you. It's a lot of books. Okay. So the next one on my list, this is one that came out last year in 2019. I almost said 2020. Everybody was raving about it, and I picked it up. I haven't read it. And that is Sorcery of Thorns. This is by Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. The most that I know about this is a girl that lives or works in a library, and she starts learning things from books or some or another. I don't really know, but I've heard amazing things about this. People were raving about this last year. I know this was in like 3 or 4 book subscription boxes. I'm probably being dramatic. I don't think it was in that many, but I know everybody was raving about this. Everybody picked this book up. I saw it. I picked it up, and now I need to read it. So it is on my list for 2020. Let's just say I'm just a year or 2 behind on my reading. We'll just say that. I don't read a lot of new releases just because new release books are kind of expensive, and I buy a lot of, secondhand. So most of these books were bought at half-price books, and I have no shame in that. Alright, this next one was actually on one of my TBRs for last year, and I didn't get to it because I had so many books on that TBR, but I really do want to read this one. I've heard amazing things about it. That is A Discovery of Witches, and this is by Deborah Harkness. This is just all paranormal. There's witches, vampires, demons, all that fun stuff, all the things that I love. I've heard amazing things about this. There's actually a TV show series about this now, and yeah, I just need to read it. And I know I will probably love it. I've heard a lot of people do love this trilogy, so hopefully I will get to book 1 pretty soon within this year. Now, last year I had it on my TBR for the month of October, and I could do that again, but I don't know if I want to wait that long. We'll see. I don't know. I might try and like go through this list as I presented it and see how far I get. Maybe it'll take me into October. I don't know. We'll see. But yes, this is on my list. All right, and the last book has been on my shelf for forever. Was this in my first haul? This might have been in my first haul too. I can't remember. I still have some books on this shelf that were in my very, very first haul 5 years ago on this channel, my very first video, that I have not read. I think this one was in it, but I cannot remember. If not, it was pretty close after that I got this book. So I need to read this. But that is Red Rising, and this is by Pierce Brown. This is an adult sci-fi book, which has been compared to Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I've heard amazing things about this. I believe they're on like book 5 of this series now, which I think it was only supposed to be a trilogy, and then it became 4 books, and then a 5th book I think just came out. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what happened. But yeah, it's just been chilling, and I need to read it, and I've heard amazing things, and hopefully I will get to it soon, like I've said about every other book on this list. Alright guys, so those are the top 20 books that I want to read in 2020. If you guys have read any of these, please let me know down below what you guys thought of them, which book I should read next. You guys know currently I am reading Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows and Serpent and Dove. So those are the 2 that I am currently reading, and I need to know where to go next. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know down below, and let me know if you didn't enjoy some of them. Maybe I should DNF some of these, or, you know, just not read them at all because they're not good. I don't know. I've heard amazing things about all of them. That's why they're in my top 20, but maybe you guys know something I don't know. I don't know. Let me know down below. Let me know down below. Comment what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.